Chapter 1. Ah! And there you are. Don't fear, little one. You're safe here. In fact, you're safer here than you've ever been. You look disoriented. That's quite all right. It's perfectly normal for a being of your of your level to be slow to adapt. There's no rush. You can take all the time you need. But perhaps you would be more comfortable sitting somewhere soft rather than laying on the cold hard floor. Here, take my hand. Hmm? Well, yes, I am glowing. I can explain that to you in a moment. But first, I want to make sure you're comfortable. Shh, it's for the best. Come here. Sit right next to me. Don't be shy. You can lean against me, too. There. Isn't that better? The fabric of this couch is much more luxurious than what you're used to, isn't it? I think you'll find that true of everything else here in my home as well. So, you must have questions. I cannot promise to answer all of them today, but I can promise you that you'll soon know everything you need to. What would you like to know first? I expected that one. Well, I do not think it would be quite accurate to call me an alien. Now, some of the beings you'll see soon, you might say that they are, although most of them don't come from your dimension. What's the difference between me and them? Well, you could say that I'm on a different level, a higher level. Maybe I should start at the beginning. I'm a member of a race known as the Lux. At least, that's the best way to pronounce it with the mortal tongue. We are quite different from mortals like you. Our power is beyond your ability to comprehend. Our wisdom is deeper than you will ever know. I can tell you don't believe me. I can't say I'm surprised, of course. The form I wear makes me look like one of your own. But it's only a guise. The glowing is just one hint of my true nature. Look more closely and you'll see the perfect symmetry of my face and the grace of my movements. Still not proof enough for you? Well, I suppose that might be a bit subtle for a being like you. Let me show you something a bit more obvious. Oh, what's this? You're floating. Why, it appears as though gravity suddenly has no hold over you. Almost as though somebody rewrote the very laws of reality on a mere whim. Do you believe me now? Or shall I make you go higher? No? Good. I'm glad that you are starting to accept reality. Don't worry, I'll return you to your seat as gently as possible. Now, no more interruptions. As you can imagine, we Lux can accomplish great things on our own, and for the most part, our history. And for the most part, we did, leaving the lesser beings of the multiverse to their own devices. But there were a few among us who posed a question. Is it right that we allow those below us to suffer in their ignorance and weakness while we prosper? Should we really keep our gifts all to ourselves? Their wise words resonated in us all, and soon all agreed. It was only right that we use our powers to benefit all living things. And that brings me to you. The Lux have enriched the lives of countless species, and humanity is next in line. You are the first human to be selected, but fear not. Soon all of your kin will follow. I said no more interruptions. I was just getting to that. Essentially, we are going to take each and every one of you into our care. And more specifically, I'm taking you into my care. You could think of it as a kind of responsible adult adopting a poor orphan, or perhaps a better metaphor would be an owner and their pet. Yes, that sounds much better. Aw, that doesn't sound good to you. You poor thing, you must be frightened. Don't worry, I'm a kind and compassionate owner. All the Lux are, for that matter. We're not like the mortals, lashing out at each other in fear and confusion. Your life is going to be so much better from now on. Well, yes, I'm sure you had your own plans for your life, but really, doesn't it sound better to have everything decided by someone who's just, well, better? I can make sure everything is perfect for you. Ah, well, that's true. I suppose calling myself better probably wasn't very sensitive. But on the other hand, it's also true. Think of it this way. You're not worth any less than you were before. The fact that I'm better doesn't make you worse, but it does mean that I can make better decisions. Really, this whole situation benefits you more than me. I'm just doing this because I want you to be happy. Well, it seems like you're going to make this difficult. My patience is great, but I suggest you don't prod the limits of what I'll allow. I'll always do what's best for you, even if that means discipline. Regardless, your outbursts tell me that you've regained some of your strength. Follow me, little one, and we'll prepare you for your new life. What? Hey! Get back here! You can't run from me! That was very foolish, little one. Minutes ago, I showed you my power. Did you really not expect that I'd be able to stop you from moving? Escaping from me is not an option. It's not just unlikely, it's impossible. Oh dear, look at those eyes. Such panic, such frustration. You're nowhere close to accepting your new life, are you? That just won't do. Well, I have an idea you might like. A game. Something that will help us bond and hopefully quash those thoughts of escape at the same time. Here are the rules. The front door is on the other side of my house. If you can touch it, then I'll allow you to leave, and I won't follow. But if I catch you, then you stay here with me, and no more trying to get away. Naturally, I won't be allowed to use my powers on you directly. How does that sound? In that case, ready, set, go! Not that way. I wouldn't go that way either. Unless you want to get cornered, that is. I can hear you. I can see you. I'm getting closer and closer. And I've got you. Oh, dear, you were so close. The door is just over there. Darn, you almost had it. That was fun, though, wasn't it? Perhaps you want to play again? Ah, you do. Wonderful. But first, I think I should show you something. Here, come with me to the door. I'll show you what's outside. Look, isn't my garden lovely? I like to spend a lot of time out here, but what I actually want to show you is over the railing there. Take a look. That's right, little one. This house is floating in midair. Can you see how far down the ground is? Oh my, such harsh words. But not inaccurate, I suppose. You're right. There never was anywhere to go. Winning the game wouldn't have changed anything. You would have had to come back inside anyway. And, truth be told, you can never win against me unless I allow it. See, I can teleport anywhere I want instantly. From here, to here, to over here. Just like that. I can even be in two places at once. See? And what would you have done even if you had been able to leave? You're not just far away from home. You're not just on another planet. You're in a completely different dimension. You can't just walk back. I did this to show you all the reasons that trying to run is pointless. So, still want to play again? How dare you attack me? You can never hurt me, but that kind of disrespect is just... Ugh! You're making me genuinely angry, and that is not what you want. But I'll forgive you. I realize that you don't know what's best for you, which leads to... Excuse me? I can't believe you just said that. I don't think you understand just how many ways I could hurt you, make you suffer. I could put you through things that would kill you otherwise and keep you alive and conscious through all of it. I could... Oh dear. Oh, you poor sweet thing. Please don't cry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean any of that. I would never, ever hurt you. I promise you. I really do want what's best for you. It's just, it's hard to have somebody want to hurt you when you're trying to help them. And the way you're behaving really worries me. I might have to. I didn't want to tell you this so soon. Honestly, I'd rather not tell you about it at all, but I think it's important that you know. You see, we Lux have been watching humans for a long time, and, well, we haven't really been very impressed, to be frank. I mean, I personally think you've improved as a species quite a lot, but sometimes it seems your instincts just drive you to hurt one another. Some among us think that maybe it's not in your best interest to be in control of yourselves anymore. Yes, that's right. They're saying that we should take away your free will. It's not the same as taking someone in and telling them what the best choices are, which is what I want to do for you. If you lost your free will, well, I'm not sure you'd really be a person anymore. Just a machine, really. Safe, but not truly conscious. And it's getting hard to argue that isn't the best choice. We've had to make that call before, and with species less self-destructive than yours. But some of us, including me, feel that you haven't been given a fair chance. I think that in a world where you can be safe, healthy, and happy without needing to struggle for it, you could be wonderful, kind beings. I see it sometimes when I observe your lives, and that's why I picked you first. You're a case study. Of all the humans I've seen, I think you can show the lugs that you can all make good, smart choices. And for a moment, I was afraid that you were proving me wrong. It's really inappropriate for Lux to do this, but I'm begging you. Please just give this life a chance. Just be good for me, and I can make life wonderful for you. I want to make you the happiest you've ever been. Give me a chance to, and I will. I'm offering you paradise. Imagine it. We can play games and relax all day, eat incredible foods that don't exist anywhere else in the multiverse. When we bring other humans here, you can be among your own kind as well. Oh, and here's the best part. You'd be immortal. I mentioned it earlier in sort of a scary way. You won't ever die or grow old. All you'd have to do in return is obey me. I know that sounds intimidating, but I won't ask much of you. I might ask you to play with me, or go places with me, or just stay with me for a little while. All you have to do is some chores as well. Even though we Lux have great powers, it's still nice to have mortals take care of some of the little things for us, especially after all we do to take care of you. But don't worry, it's not like you'll be working all the time. We have so many mortals under our care that we can split up the work quite a bit. If anything, you'll probably feel fulfilled, like you've earned your place here. Well, what do you say? Chapter 2. Hello? I see you're enjoying the Omniviewer. Peering through the multiverse never gets dull, in my opinion. There are so many marvelous phenomena, so many wondrous forms of life. Am I right? What am I saying? Of course I am. Oh, yes. I'm here because I wanted you to come and spend some time with me. I've been very busy today, and I'd like to sit back and relax with you for a while. Now, just remember all the wonderful benefits I'm providing you with. Taking a little time out of your day so that I can enjoy your company is a small price to pay, is it not? Good. I'm glad you didn't make me insist. Come with me. We'll sit out in the garden. I hope you've been enjoying your new life. Well, to be honest, I'm not sure how you couldn't. No running around, squabbling with your peers over money and status. You have me here to make sure everything is perfect, and I ask so little in return. Would you like a treat? I brought some back from the meeting I was just at. It isn't the sort of thing you'd find on Earth, but I think it's similar enough that you might enjoy it. All right, let me show you what the choices are. This one is a little bit like pastry. It's wonderfully crispy on the outside with a soft, slightly chewier center. It's mostly quite sweet, but the center is rather tart. Here we have another sweet. It's actually a fruit from a particular jungle world. When the fruit is baked, it becomes sweet, gooey, and delicious. The last one is more of a savory dish. It's very crunchy and flavorful. I'm honestly not sure how to describe the taste, but I can almost guarantee you'll enjoy it. So, which one do you want first? Good choice. I'm quite fond of those myself. I must admit, when I first heard of the idea of food, I was unsure of how I felt. We Lux don't need food to survive. We simply absorb ambient dimensional energy for our sustenance. But I've come to quite enjoy eating. Aside from the taste and texture, it's such a nice social activity. It provides plenty to talk about, and there's a certain camaraderie that comes with enjoying a meal together. That being said, I think it's just dreadful that you mortals rely on it for your survival. I only eat occasionally when it strikes my fancy. I can't imagine having so much time out of your day devoted to finding, preparing, and eating food. And not to mention all the conflicts your species have had over it. But in the end, that's just another reason why humans will be better in our care. With us handling all the difficult decision making, you'll all have plenty of time in the day to fill your bellies. I see you still get a little upset when I talk about our plans for the human race. Don't worry. I'm sure with time you'll come to see that this was all in your best interest. Even you must admit that I've been good to you. The same will be true of all your kin in time. Speaking of which, I'm sure you'll be happy to hear that our discussion about allowing humans to maintain their free will has gone quite well. You've been quite good for me, and that's gone a long way to proving humanity's rationality. Of course, you haven't always acted rational, but your outbursts haven't been too bad. And that's without me resorting to discipline. What's the matter? Surely you must be relieved to know that you will be keeping your ability to think. Is there something else on your mind? You want to know when you'll be able to see your friends and family. Well, there's still much to prepare, unfortunately. It will be a while, but I promise it'll happen. Not what you meant. Then what did you mean? Oh, you want to actually go back and visit Earth? Well, that would be a bit more complicated. Not that I can't do it, of course. But it's bad practice to expose a liberated species to their old way of life. Nostalgia can make you long for things that aren't good for you. Well, I suppose I can understand how a mortal like you would long for familiarity. You've been good so far, so if you continue to show improvement, I'll allow a visit home soon. I consider that a bit of a compromise, but I do want you to feel that I listen to your concerns. And I suppose that you deserve a little bit of a treat. You really have been very good. Most importantly, you've been getting better since I first brought you here. I can still see a rebellious spark in your eyes, but it seems that you've mostly accepted that fighting back doesn't accomplish anything. Unless, out of curiosity, what are you planning to do while you're there? Of course, of course. Naturally, you could do all of that here, but I understand that it's different when it's with others of your kind. But I wonder, were you planning on anything else? Perhaps Trying to warn the other humans that the Lux are coming? The look on your face says it all. You're not the first being to try it. But don't worry. I won't go back on my promise. You'll get your visit. I wouldn't recommend trying to spread the word of our plans, but not for the reasons you're probably thinking. What do I mean? Well, it's pretty simple. In the first place, how many people would believe you? Remember, I've been watching humans for quite a while. There are plenty of others claiming to have seen aliens. But you all just call them crazy. Of course, there's more reasons than just that. Did you consider what would happen if they did believe you? Worst case scenario, there would be mass panic, looting, riots, the works. Best case scenario, they realize that this is the best thing to happen to the human race and eagerly await their salvation. And if they did all band together to try and stop us, well, they would fail. There isn't a force in the multiverse more powerful than the Lux, and your species has only barely started to look into the stars. Frankly, you're lucky that we're looking out for your best interests. A violent race with half our power could wipe you out easily. Of course, that will never happen. You're all under our protection, even if we haven't been able to bring you all over yet. Anyway, I would recommend keeping the Lux's plans to yourself. No sense in spoiling your visit with fear and confusion. Well, I think this conversation has been quite fruitful, don't you? I certainly learned a bit more about you. Now, why don't you sit back and enjoy those treats? There, that's a good human. Keep it up, and things will continue to be just wonderful for you. Chapter 3. Welcome back, pet. How was your visit back home? Ah, you're catching on. You're right. I was watching. Still, I think it's courteous to ask. Yes, you certainly seem troubled. From what I could see, you were very happy to see your family and friends again, but after that you started to get agitated. So, what was it that had you so upset? Did you, perhaps, miss your loving owner? Was it hard to be away from me for that long? Were you just thinking about me the whole time? Oh, are you sure? Because I missed you. Even though I could still see you. You can be a bit cold to me sometimes, but I still love having you around. Well, if it really wasn't that you couldn't bear to be apart from me, then what had you so vexed? You need to decompress. Oh, you humans and your silly needs. Well, if you must, then come over to the couch and sit for a while. You'll feel better soon after sitting with me, I'm sure. So, feel any better? Good. Now, tell me about what's troubling you, dear. Oh, is that right? Oh, no. I don't mean to make light of your worries. It's just, well, you say that things on Earth have become so horrible since you left. I don't deny that at all. But from my perspective, things have always been bad on Earth. All the sadness and heartaches. For me, recent events are just another drop in the bucket. It's so funny to me that it has made such an impact on you. Still, it is sad. I understand perfectly how you feel, my little human. Thanks to living with me for as long as you have, you've gotten the chance to see your world in the way the Lux do. There are many good people there, but they're stuck in a sad, painful loop. Hmm? You... Pet, could you say that again? I'm not sure I heard you right. Well, that's a lie. I always hear perfectly, but I want to hear you say it again. Really? You mean it? You think that humankind would be better off with the Lux caring for them? Well, maybe is still a step up. Oh, I'm so happy. And I assume that this means that you're a little more grateful for everything I do for you, right? Perhaps you're even willing to admit that you like me? Just a little. No, thank you, sweetie. Oh, things are going to be so much better from now on. I'll confess, I've been a little jealous of some of the other Lux lately. I would never trade you for anything, but I sometimes would watch them with their loving, playful pets and wish that we were the same way. Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm not expecting you to suddenly start bounding up to me and giving me the biggest hugs whenever I come home. As adorable as that would be. No, I know that such a dream is a long way off, if it will ever come true at all. But the main obstacle between us has been removed, dear. And that means that we can only get closer from here on out. Say, since you're feeling a bit more agreeable now, perhaps today's the day I could snuggle with you without you scurrying away? You know, you really should be grateful I haven't just forced myself on you. I could just freeze you in place and snuggle you all day. But I decided to let you get out of it every time, hoping that someday you'd stay by choice. So, what do you think, Pet? Finally! Come here! You're so soft and warm. I love having you in my arms. Absolutely perfect. I think someone's enjoying themselves. Has there been a snugglebug buried under there this whole time? Shame on you, keeping the sight of you all to yourself. But at least we're doing this now. The past doesn't matter, only this wonderful, perfect moment. How are you feeling, sweetie? Doesn't this just feel right? Like it's how things should have always been, how they always should be from now on? Still uncertain? Well, I don't think you'd really be you if you weren't a little reserved. No need to worry, I'll be patient. I always knew you'd come around, and now I'm more sure than ever. Just think, my sweet little human. We could do this every single day. Why, we could do it all day, every day. I only leave to go about my business because it seems that many humans enjoy some time to themselves. But as you've seen, I can be in two places at once, so I can stay with you and go wherever I need to. Oh, you silly thing. It was only an offer. I won't force you, even though I could. You're mine to care for, and I know that means I need to make the occasional sacrifice. What is it? You feel lighter? It's not anything I'm doing. Oh, emotionally. Well, I can't say that I'm surprised. You've been fighting an unwinnable fight for so long. trying to reject your life in whatever small way you could manage without angering me, even though you knew it wouldn't change anything. I'm sure it must be a relief to be finally free of all that pent-up frustration. That's the happiness that the Lux will bring to humanity. Acceptance and peace. Come to think of it, I was so excited about your new outlook on life, I forgot to tell you. While you were gone, we finally finished our preparations. Why, the preparations to finally rescue the rest of the humans, of course. We'll be starting tomorrow. Soon, every single human will be in the care of a loving Lux owner. Isn't that exciting? Don't know what to say, do you? No need. I'll say what you're thinking. Hooray! Now we can all be safe and happy together. Now, I should warn you that this might end up causing some changes for us. I haven't signed up to take in another human, but every time we adopt a new race, unexpected things happen. Usually a Lux finds that their new pet doesn't get along with some of the other ones, or realizes they weren't ready for the responsibility at all. That means I might have to take in a new pet. Probably another human, but possibly one of a different race. Sometimes an owner will part with an older pet instead. Now, that's not for certain, but I'd much prefer for us to have more time to ourselves before we get another addition to the family. But you know how tender-hearted I am. I just can't bear for another poor little deer to go without someone to love and care for them. But no matter what happens, I promise I'll always have time for you. You're so precious to me, my cute, darling little human pet. I'm going to take such good care of you.